It's game time for the Otters on 91.5 FM WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
3-1. Long. Toward right. Toward the corner. Toward the foul pole and over the wall. Fair. Home run for Ryan Long.
First pitch. Cronin crushes it in the air to deep right field. He bat flips it and it's way out of here.
Don't forget, Otters fans, you can catch every Evansville Otters broadcast on 91.5 FM WUEV, online at evansvilleotters.com, and through the WUEV mobile app.
Roxon deals the 2-2 pitch. Fastball called strike three on the inside corner. Vail rings up Bissell to end it, and the Otters are going back to the postseason.
Now, let's go out to the ballpark for all of the action.
Welcome to beautiful Bosse Field. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Otters come in with a record of 47-34 as they take on the Gateway Grizzlies here at Bosse Field. Gateway comes in with a record of 32-49. Bill, if the playoffs were to start today, the Otters would be a wild card team, and they would be in the playoffs, most likely playing against the Lake Erie Crushers, the Frontier League East Division leader right now. But they are one game behind the Florence Freedom. They start an important series against Gateway, building off momentum against their first series win against the River City Rascals. I think the Otters are feeling confident in that clubhouse.
Well, I would assume so. As I said, I always have the pleasure of talking to a lot of our fans before the game, and I know one of the fans looked at the score board that's down in the entrance of the stadium here, and he said, "Oh my God, look, the Otters are in second place," and he was all excited. So, yeah, it is exciting for the fans, but I'm quite sure it's more exciting for the ball players.
Well, let's get to our infield here. We have Rob Calabrese behind the plate, Jack Meggs at first, David Cronin at second, Tanner Wietrich at shortstop, Ryan Long at third, Keith Griesaber in left field, Hunter Cullen in center, and Elijah McNamee in right. On the mound will be Brandon Sittinger looking for his first win at home. His first start at home. He earned a no decision where he struck out the Southern Illinois Miners 10 times in 5 innings of work. His last start, he had a 6-inning start in a 7-inning game at Washington. 6 innings where he threw 11 strikeouts. Coming into today's game with 31 strikeouts, and we expect his fastball to be humming at the plate today. Sittinger's first pitch to Connor Owings drops in there for strike one. 0-1 the count as Sittinger is on the hill for the Otters. Lefty-righty matchup. The next pitch to Owings is a swing and a miss on a high fastball away. Make that count now at 0-2.
I think this young man was about 2 blocks late when the bus came.
On that particular swing?
Yes, I mean, that thing was humming.
And here's the 0-2 from Sittinger. That'll be, that was close. A fastball belt high inside. Count moving to 1-2. And we want to also give a special shout-out to our good friend Secret Weapon out there in front of home plate.
Yeah, you got new batteries in that telephone, so...
1-2.
Radio, not telephone, radio.
You know what happened? What is it? Video killed the radio star, right?
Pardon?
Okay. The first music video that was produced by VH1, it was the song was called "Video Killed the Radio Star," so that would start the transition of people watching music to music. The next pitch would be outside for a ball low and away to Owings. So a count that started at 0-2 is now even at 2. No outs, top of the first. We are just underway. First batter of the game for the Gateway Grizzlies. Owings coming in with a batting average of .264 with 76 hits. The 2-2 from Sittinger. It will be a breaking ball inside belt high. Count now full as Owings is patient in this at-bat, trying to look for his pitch. Sittinger establishes himself with his fastball before he throws his other breaking pitches. But clearly his fastball has some high heat. Next pitch will be a ball low and away on another fastball from Sittinger. So the Grizzlies are awarded their first base runner today and Connor Owings, the designated hitter, with a walk.
When he was pitching previously in those other ballparks, did he was it ever recorded on those speed guns what his velocity was?
Yes. His last strikeout that he had in Washington topped at 94. He's been consistent between 90 to 93. Bunt by Brent Sakurai, and Cronin wasn't there in time to cover first base, so Grizzlies executing some small ball right now as Meggs went up to field the bunt. Sittinger went out to field the bunt. He was able to put the baseball in his glove. No one was covering first base. So now runners on first and second with no outs. Sakurai successful with a bunt single. There are runners now on first and second, no outs, with Dustin Woodcock to the plate. So not the ideal start you would want for the Otters right now.
Well, if you recall, on several occasions I mentioned there was a former Otter baseball player, second baseman named Frankie Scott, and he used to execute that particular play religiously, and it's always good. Anytime you make that second baseman come charging in, the first baseman come, and nobody's covering first base, you got yourself a base hit. So that was heads-up play on that guy's point. If we would do it more, we may have more base hits as well.
The 1-0 pitch to Woodcock is outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count, and Woodcock, his first home run hit as a Gateway Grizzly was a go-ahead 3-run home run in Gateway to give the Grizzlies a come-from-behind 5-4 win in the bottom of the 8th. The Otters were up 4-2, and then Woodcock hit his first home run of the season, a 3-run shot in Sauget, Illinois. The next pitch from Sittinger is low and away for ball 3. 3-0 the count. No outs. Runners on first and second for the Grizzlies. Woodcock now steps back into the batter's box with an open stance on the left side. Sittinger from the left side of the rubber checks the runner at second. He fires a 3-0, and now that's outside. Ball 4. Bases loaded for the Grizzlies. No outs here in the top of the first.
It's a beautiful night for baseball. The sun is still shining there on second base and right field. Our second baseman, Dave Cronin, has his glasses on to help shade the sun.
To the plate now is the cleanup hitter Luke Lowry, who's hitting .251 on the season. From the left side of the rubber, bases loaded for the Grizzlies, no outs. Here is a pop-up foul down the first base line. Count moves to 0-1. And out any way you can help out the Otters. Ground ball can help out to force a double play, or even getting the force out at home. 0-1 the count. Sittinger now fires an 0-1 pitch. It'll be a fly ball to shallow right field. McNamee's there, make the catch for round number 1, and because he was playing shallow, he was able to rush and throw that ball into the infield. Not being able to tag was Owings at third, a key out number 1.
Well, what was so nice and important on that play, Dave, you just called it, is after Big Mac made that catch out there in right field, he ran close to the infield and then brought the ball in rather than throw from where he was, taking the chance of the ball being wild and a runner scoring. So he did a very baseball.
The first pitch to Sean Dunston Jr. is a called strike. And from what you've told me before, you scouted his father.
Yes, this is the first time I've got the chance to see him. I've got to go down and talk to him tomorrow night.
Okay. The 0-1 pitch from Sittinger as Dunston is right in there for a called strike 2. Dunston, one of 2 All-Stars for Gateway this year. And let me see. Do you think it's a little bit of pressure knowing that your father was as good as he was as a player?
I would say definitely.
You got to try to fill his shoes?
I would say yes, definitely yes. Once
0-2 will be flaring foul down the left field line. Long We'll take a look at it, and then we'll retreat back to third base.
Yeah, when you got pressure like that, you got to perform, and I think you sometimes you make a lot of mistakes trying to show that you came from the same
Lineage?
lineage. Okay, that's a good call.
Okay. Or the same family?
Yes. I'm going to have to observe this young man more because I knew his father, so I'll have to see if he's got the same talent and traits.
Defensively, he plays a solid center field. This wild pitch is blocked by Calabrese in front of home plate. Count now at 1-2, 1 out. Dunston plays a solid center field, and he's got really good speed.
Well, let me put it this way. When his father was in high school and playing in Johnstown, Pennsylvania in the All-American tournament with the Brooklyn Cadets, he was a center fielder.
Really?
Yes. But he ended up in the latter part of his senior year in high school playing shortstop.
Got it. A 1-2, swung on, foul territory, third base line. Long might have it, and no.
Well, he might have had it and ran into that fence, and that might have jarred the ball out of his glove. But he hit that fence pretty hard, solidly. And, again, the possibility of the ball bouncing or being jarred out of his glove, that could have been a big out. But, again, give Ryan Long a star for hustling over there.
That's right. So the count remains at 1-2 to Sean Dunston Jr., the son of Sean Dunston, who at one point was the everyday shortstop for the Chicago Cubs. Lefty-righty matchup, the 1-2 pitch. That'll be inside and low for a ball. Count now even at 2 with 1 out. Otters could use a double play right here to get out of this bases-loaded jam here in the top of the first.
You heard me say that there was a big trade that never did materialize involving 13 teams and 30-some-odd ball players. His father was one of them.
Oh, really?
Yes.
The 2-2 swung on, weak ground ball. Sittinger would now get the force out. No, Calabrese drops the ball at home. So 1 run scores, and the Grizzlies are on top here in the top of the first. We'll wait for the official ruling. Okay. So a fielder's choice. Not an RBI.
No, and not an error.
So that will be an unearned run towards the line of Sittinger. Not the first time that has happened to Sittinger this year. So Grizzlies up 1-0. Bases now at men on first and third. Oh, bases still loaded, I'm sorry. With 1 out. 1-0 Grizzlies. Still in the top of the first with 1 out. First pitch to Andrew Daniel. The second baseman is inside for ball 1. A righty-righty matchup. Sittinger will check the runner at third, fires the 1-0 pitch, and that's a strike right down the heart of the plate, evening the count at 1 with 1 out. Daniel hitting .224 on the year with 45 hits. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball. Foul territory, first base line. Meggs might have it. And he does for out number 2. So now we'll get to batter number 7 in the Gateway Grizzlies order. And the third baseman, Wesley Jones, entering his 5th game of Frontier League play. In 4 games, Jones is hitting .273 with 3 hits. Sittinger looking for the final out of the inning. Bases still loaded. Swung on and fouled down the third base line. Count moves to 0-1 with 2 outs.
You know, I see one of the old-timers that's missing from the coaching staff. The pitching coach is missing from Gateway that used to be there for year after year after year.
What was his name?
You got me right now.
Okay. The 0-1, low and away for ball 1. Count now even at 1 with 2 outs. Top of the first, 1-0 Gateway on a fielder's choice from Sean Dunston Jr. that allowed Connor Owings to score from third. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss, a fastball that blows by Jones, moving the count to 1-2.
I don't recall his name now, Dave, but I'll say he was about 6'2", weighed about 200 pounds. He was the pitching coach. In every game, he'd be before the game started, he'd be running from right field to left field in the outfield.
Here's the 1-2 pitch inside for ball 2, evening the count at 2 with 2 outs.
He practiced what he preached. Get yourself in shape. He was always running. And he was, like I said, in his 50s or even 60s.
Sittinger comes set. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It'll be fouled away behind home plate as Jones was reaching on that pitch from Sittinger. Gets the edge of the barrel of his bat to foul it behind home plate. We have another even count at 2. Pitch number 5 upcoming in the at-bat. Bases loaded, Dunston on first, Woodcock at second, Sakurai at third. Here's the 2-2. That'll be inside for ball 3. Count now full as that pitch was inside at the knees of Jones. And if you're Sittinger right now, you want to throw Jones a pitch that he could hit but keep it in the yard. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. It gets the Otters out of the inning. Sittinger in a bit of trouble, got out of the jam. He allows 1 run after the bases were loaded with no outs to begin the top of the first. 1-0 Grizzlies with the Otters up to bat here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Really?
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 1-0 here in the bottom of the first. The Grizzlies, they sent 7 men to the plate. They had the bases loaded with no outs and were able to manage to score 1 run. Batters 1, 2, 3 for the Otters. David Cronin, Keith Griesaber, and Ryan Long. Cronin will lead things off, batting .292 on the season, leading the team in batting average with 89 hits as well.
I was talking to David before the game, and I said, how many times do you ever stop at Giordano's? He said, oh, that Dave up there, is he telling you about that? And I said, well, I will say.
First pitch to Cronin from Jordan Barrett is in there for strike 1.
I said, I'll mention your father's name. That I said hello to you down there on the field, so your father knows you're here tonight.
All right. Well, Mr. Cronin, as well as Mrs. Cronin, listens in, as always, as Cronin has an 0-2 count. And I talked to Dave about his last at-bat last night with the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. Barrett, the lefty, fires the 0-2 to Cronin. That'll be swung on, foul down the left field line. Count at 0-2. So, Bill, if you recall last night in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs, the Otters had the bases loaded with Cronin at the plate after Rizzatello worked, I think, a 5 or a 6 pitch walk.
Yes, I remember very well. And the first pitch on to David was, I think, a high ball, and the second pitch was low and outside.
0-2 swing and a miss for strike 3.
And I know I may be criticized for it, but I said he should have taken the strike, and he swung at the pitch. It was a pop fly, and we got out of the inning, yes.
Yes, so when talking to Dave last night as he walked to his Ford F-150 truck, as Keith Griesaber steps to the plate, Dave said that he faced that pitcher before. He was sitting on a fastball, and that was a fastball, but it was a little up and outside of the zone.
Right.
And he said, I was sitting on fastball, and that's what I committed to.
Right. Well, how many times have I said to you, Dave, that ball players, batters, they approach home plate and a 3-1 count or a 2-0 count, whatever it may be, and they anticipate, and I emphasize, anticipate the ball's going to be a fastball down the middle. So they've already made up their mind they're swinging before the pitcher even releases the ball. And that is one of the biggest mistakes batters make.
So I think, I give Cronin credit for going up there with a plan. But I think if he were to look back, he probably would have said, it was probably ball 3. Nonetheless, the Otters won the game last night.
Well,
but
yeah.
As Griesaber slaps this one to the second baseman, Daniel, throw over to first in time. 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the first. To the plate now is Ryan Long, and we saw him hit the ball. We haven't seen him hit the ball a whole lot to the opposite field, but he likes left center a lot, as well as the right field wall. Not a lot of balls that he's hit towards right field, or left field, excuse me. He's hit a lot of balls to right field and left center, but never to straightaway left field.
This last series against the Rascals, he certainly had an enjoyable time playing against them. When did he get, I think he got 4 doubles. He drove in about 5 RBIs, and I think he had maybe 5 or 6 hits for the series.
Sounds about right. 0-1 the count, and now a called strike to Ryan Long. A swinging and a miss for strike 1, called strike 2. Long now in the hole at 0-2. Barrett agrees with a sign from his catcher Taylor. He fires an 0-2 pitch. Ground ball to the first baseman, Lowry. He'll touch the first base bag, and the Otters are retired in order. We head to the second with the Grizzlies up 1-0 here at Bosse Field on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzy's is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations, west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North 1st Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vanderburgh or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign classifications. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at ibew16.net.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We have batters 8, 9, and 1 in the Grizzlies order approaching the top of the second inning. Grizzlies up 1-0, sending 7 men to the plate. They had the bases loaded with no outs at one point. And they're able to manage to score 1 run back in the top of the first. Sittinger back on the mound for his second inning of work. His first pitch to Greg White will be offered shortly, as White is also playing in his 5th game of the year. First pitch is a fastball down Main Street, moving the count to 0-1. So Sittinger, when we were out in Washington, Bill, as far as the radar gun you were asking me about, Sittinger was consistent between 89 to 93. 0-1 is outside for a ball, low and away, evening the count at 1 with no outs.
Well, he seems to be throwing a little mustard, although...
Here's the 1-1 pitch. And that'll be in the dirt for ball 2.
He just hasn't found his command yet in throwing strikes.
2-1 the count, no outs. Sittinger now fires. Swung on, foul down the first base line. Count now even at 2. Got a pretty good crowd here on a Friday night at Bosse Field. Fans come on out. There aren't many home games left in the regular season.
Well, something about St. Vincent Hospital Night or something like that.
That's right.
And I know...
2-2 pitch in the dirt for ball 3.
I know I visit St. Vincent's facilities quite often between my wife and myself, whether it's a throat doctor or a kidney doctor or a bone doctor or a heart doctor, whatever it may be.
Here's the payoff from Sittinger, and White will get a piece of that one. He fouls it behind home plate, catching the middle part of his bat, having the count remain full.
You know, one thing I'll never understand is that always was St. Mary's Hospital. Now it's St. Vincent's. Another organization took over, and, why they have to change?
This is a pop-up in the infield. Wietrich at shortstop is there, makes the catch for out number 1. You were saying?
No, I was saying why they have to change. It's like my high school back in New Jersey. It was St. Mary's as well, and then they changed it. I mean, St. Mary's is after the Blessed Mother, and yet you're taking whatever honor away from them. I don't know. But, again, I don't make those decisions.
To the plate now is Taylor, the catcher. He gets a first pitch strike to move the count to 0-1. Zach Taylor this year is hitting .245 with 38 hits. His next pitch, it'll be a called strike 2 on the inside corner in a righty-righty matchup. Count quickly at 0-2 to Taylor, who has 14 RBIs on the season. Sittinger takes a deep breath, shrugs his shoulders, his 0-2 pitch. That'll be a fastball in the dirt this time. Count moves to 1-2.
Next time Mr. Dunson comes up to the plate, there's an interesting point I'd like to tell, if I may.
Absolutely. The 1-2 pitch. That'll be a fastball inside from Sittinger. Count now even at 2 with 1 out. On deck will be the leadoff hitter in Connor Owings, who worked a first inning walk. The 2-2. Swung on, weak ground ball to Ryan Long. Charges, throws over to first. Can he get him? Yes, he does. 2 batters, 2 outs.
Let me say this, as you experience and you witness, if Ryan Long didn't have a shotgun over the throw over there at third base, that man would have been safe, because he got down that path pretty fast. But Ryan has really got a shotgun over there.
To the plate now, and I couldn't agree more about Ryan Long's arm strength. Connor Owings to the dish. He walked back in the first. He takes a first pitch strike from Sittinger. That'll be a strike on the outside corner, belt high away from the left-handed batter Owings. Count at 0-1 with 2 outs. Sittinger wastes no time. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that appeared to be a strike from my eyes. Instead, it was inside, according to the home plate umpire, in Creel Waddle, evening the count at 1 with 2 outs. Sittinger now fires a 1-1 pitch. It'll be a ball in the dirt inside, moving the count to 2-1.
See, I would say Waddell.
Waddell?
That's the way I would pronounce his name. Used to be a baseball scout for the Atlanta Braves named Randy Waddell.
2-1, swing and a miss to even the count at 2. And there will be a mound visit. Oh, just the umpire Waddell. I'll call him Waddell.
Well, no, I just mentioned it. That's all. That's the way we used to refer to Randy Waddell.
Well, he'll give Sittinger a new baseball as he walks out to the pitcher's mound. Even count at 2, 2 outs, 1-0 Grizzlies. Here in the top of the second, the Grizzlies sent 7 men to the plate. They had the bases loaded with no outs back in the first, and they're able to manage to score 1 run. Here's the 2-2 from Sittinger. Swing and a miss, and the drop third strike. Calabrese throws down to first. Meggs' foot is on the bag, and that'll be out number 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Brandon Sittinger. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Grizzlies on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at myMarathonStation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 1-0 as we're in the bottom of the second. To the plate now is Elijah McNamee, or better known as Big Mac. He scored the game-winning run last night when he took off from third on the wild pitch from Andrew Vernon to give the Otters a 2-1 victory in the 11th. First pitch to McNamee will be inside for ball 1. 1-0 the count. Barrett now kicks and fires a 1-0 pitch. That'll be inside for ball 2 in a lefty-righty matchup. It'll be Barrett on the mound. Lowry at first. Luke Lowry. Andrew Daniel at second. Brent Sakurai at short. Here's the 2-0 pitch to McNamee. It'll be a called strike on the outside corner. Knee high away, moving the count to 2-1. Daniel Jones at third, as well as Greg White in left field, Sean Dunston Jr. in center, as this next pitch from Barrett is inside for ball 3, and Dustin Woodcock in right.
You mentioned Dunston out there in center. You said he pretty good out there the first time I've seen him. What kind of arm does he have?
Not too bad.
His father had a good arm.
Yeah.
That's why he played center originally, and then utilized it at short.
I wasn't around enough, but he was. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball that blows by McNamee for out number 1. Second strikeout of the day for Barrett. And to the plate now is Taylor Lane. Lane to the plate. Lane had the single back in the bottom of the ninth last night that represented the go-ahead run. He reached third, and that was all that he could get to as far as the bases go last night, as the Otters weren't able to score with the bases loaded with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth of last night's game. Lane takes a first pitch, strike, belt high away from the right-handed batter. Counted 0-1. Barrett now fires an 0-1 pitch. Outside for ball one, evening the count with 1 out.
The worst part of losing their ball game is getting on that bus and traveling 5-10 hours, whatever it is, and
the 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Lane was a bit ahead of that pitch from Barrett. Count now moves to 1-2. And River City headed to Florence last night.
well, that wasn't too bad. It's only about a 4-hour ride.
A 1-2 upstairs for a ball 2. I think the difference is that they cross time zones from Central Time to East Coast Time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Right down the road.
That's right. 2-2 swung on, hit wall to left field. White will make a diving catch for out number 2. Lane put a good swing on that one, just a better defensive play by White in left field for out number 2.
I didn't think he was going to get there, to be honest with you. I thought the ball was dying and
So did I.
And it was going to fall in. But, yeah, give that left fielder credit.
To the plate now is Jack Meggs. Jack scored the first run last night for the Otters, where he singled, then advanced to third on the opposite field double by Ryan Long. And then he scored on the RBI ground out from Elijah McNamee. Here's the first pitch to Meggs. It'll be a breaking ball in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count to Jack, who's batting .243 on the season. Lefty-lefty matchup, the 0-1. Swung on, catches towards the handle of the bat of Meggs, moving the count quickly to 0-2 after the foul ball. Meggs was born and raised for a bit in Chico, California, and then he went out to Terre Haute, Indiana, where his dad was the head coach at Indiana State University. And then he moved back towards the Seattle, Washington area, as his dad is now the head coach at the University of Washington. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss, a fastball that blows by Jack Meggs. A fastball from Barrett as third strikeout of the day ends the bottom of the second. Barrett has retired the first 6 Otters in order as we head to the top of the third. 1-0 Grizzlies the score on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The local Pepsi Bottling Group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi Bottling Group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Faith Win, Bill McCune on the call. Top of the third. 1-0 Grizzlies. Swung on, hit well from Sakurai, but it's going to be in play. And Cullen is there for out number 1.
Where's our...
I'll let you take over. I'll grab that third mic for you.
Okay. Yeah, so we got 1 out now in the top of the third, and here comes number 26, Dustin Woodcock, right fielder. And we've got a special guest coming in that Dave is introducing here, giving him the third mic, and we will be listening to this gentleman. His name is Austin Knapp from Oglesby, Illinois. Just came into town this morning. And welcome to Evansville, Austin.
Thank you, Bill.
And Austin, Dave, and is my grandson, my son Jeff's son. And
how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
23.
All right. Did you play football?
Yes, I did.
All right. The next pitch from Sittinger to Woodcock is a ball inside. Count now at 1-2, 1 out. And please don't take this the wrong way, but you got an offensive lineman build.
Yeah, played left tackle on offense, and then defensive nose guard.
Okay, nose. So your high school, right, ran a 5.3, or your college ran a 5.3?
High school.
Okay. So we have another count at 1-2 after the foul ball by Dustin Woodcock. 1-0 Grizzlies. We're in the top of the third. And I'm sure it must be a pleasure to be the grandson of this guy right here.
Oh, it's nothing but pleasure. Being able to hear all the stories that he has.
There's a fly ball deep to right field. Going back is McNamee. And that ball is over the fence and gone. Another home run hit by Dustin Woodcock against these Evansville Otters. It is now 2-0 Grizzlies.
Seems like we're giving up a lot of home run baseballs lately. What we have in that series with the Rascals, I think we had 3 in one game, and
4 total, 3 in one game.
Yeah, 4 total. Now we got 1 here.
So Woodcock not only hits his first home run of his professional career with the Grizzlies against the Otters, he now hits his first home run at Bosse Field.
Against the Otters.
Now Lowry to the plate. He takes a first ball inside. Count moves to 1-0 with 1 out. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss on a fastball to even the count at 1 with 1 out. 2-0 now Grizzlies. Is baseball one of your favorite sports?
Yeah, I'd say so. I played a lot of it then, early years, and then once I got into high school football, it took up most of my time. So during the summer, coaches wanted me to focus on that, so I didn't play too much of it.
Got it. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on another strikeout, this time to Luke Lowry from Sittinger. We have 2 outs here in the top of the third, 2-0 Grizzlies. And Bill, I missed the introduction. We were joined by your grandson,
Austin Knapp. And you want to ask him what kind of job he's got. He's got a very unusual job that he went to college for and got a degree in.
Really? Well, here's Sean Dunston Jr. to the plate. He had a fielder's choice. And here's his first pitch from Sittinger. Popped up. Third base line. And that ball will be drifting foul towards the left field tent. Count it 0-1 to Dunston Jr.
Yeah, and I'm going to interrupt my grandson here and just say, I told you I was going to tell you something. Sean and Dunston is Shawon. His father was always known as Sean, Shawn.
Oh, really?
So during the baseball June draft,
0-1 pitch to Dunston is fouled behind home plate.
During the June draft, you had to be very specific insofar as if you put down Sean, Shawn Dunston, and let's say the Yankees say, I'm drafting Sean Dunston, Shawn, and the commissioner's office, the office would say, the New York Yankees draft Sean and Dunston. And then two rounds later, the New York Mets comes up and says, we are drafting Sean Dunston, Shawon, and someone's going to yell, wait a minute, Yankees drafted him 2 rounds earlier. And they're going to say, no, no, no. S-H-A-W-N is not his name. S-H-A-W-O-N. Therefore, the Mets get to draft, the Yankees forfeit.
Wow.
Yeah. You had to be very, very specific. Okay. Now, Austin, you can tell your story.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. Dunston tosses his bat in frustration on the strikeout as we head to the bottom of the third. Otters down now 2-0. And Austin, the beloved grandson of Mr. Bill McCune right here. Yes, go ahead. So what is it that you do for a living, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a nuclear radiation protection technician.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah.
What does that entail?
I go around to different nuclear plants during their outages when they shut down to do refuels, and I monitor radiation levels and contamination levels through the plant, making sure that everybody's working safe and in proper areas so they're not being exposed to too much radiation.
So, in other words, you're trying to make sure no one turns into the Hulk.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I never thought of that, but that is a good analysis.
So one of my teachers from high school, he was in science class, and one of the questions was, what do gamma rays do? And he turned Bruce Banner into the Hulk, and he managed to get a half credit for the question. So what made you want to get into that specific field in radiation, right?
My mom works at a nuclear power plant around where I live back in Illinois.
Okay.
And her boyfriend is a contracting agent for nuclear plants. Like a company that works with them and deals with their radioactive waste that they transport. And from talking to them about everything and previous job experiences I've had, they thought, hey, try this out. You might like it. And it's a pretty interesting career. I mean, a lot of hours.
Sure.
Work 7/12s when I do work, so.
Wait, 7 to 5.
7 days a week, 12-hour shifts.
Oh, God bless you.
Oh.
So, did you purposely take time off for today, or?
I have seasonal work, so I work spring and fall.
Oh, okay. So it gives you enough time to watch football.
Oh yeah.
All right, that's awesome. And a good part of the college basketball season too. Are you a college basketball fan?
I tried. I couldn't get too much into basketball. Some of the rules I just wouldn't understand. Like a big thing like the traveling is like, whenever I see it, like somebody going up for a layup or something, is like, the way I understood it is like, oh, you take like 2 steps with the balls in your hands traveling, but then they do that. It was like, I couldn't connect my head.
With the pros, you get away with it depending on your status. I think that's what it is. Like guys like LeBron will get away with the 2 or 3 steps after one dribble. As Calabrese steps to the plate, we're in the bottom of the third. The next pitch to him is outside for ball 2. 2-0 the count. 2-0 Grizzlies after the solo home run by Dustin Woodcock.
You know, it's interesting, Dave, what you just said. To illustrate a point.
The 2-0 pitch. Swung on down the right field line, and it goes foul to make the count at 2-1.
Many years ago in Jersey, I had this referee doing varsity basketball games. And one day in the locker room, got talking to him, and he was an alternate NBA basketball official.
Wow.
So we got talking and, asking him about NBA basketball and so on.
2-1, swung on to right field. That's going to drop for a hit. The first hit of the day for the Otters comes from the catcher, Rob Calabrese, to lead off the bottom of the third.
And anyway, just like you said, if you're a star, you can do anything you want. You take 15 steps if you want, punch the guy in the mouth if you want, and no foul will be called or no penalty.
Well, tell that to Ron Artest.
Whereas a rookie young college guy just coming into the NBA, they'll call, and I said, oh, what? He said, oh, no. The owners tell you, or the league tells you, people come to see the stars. And
right.
If you put them out of the game, people don't come.
Right.
So you let the stars do whatever they want.
I can agree 100% with that. Believe it or not, Greg Popovich of the Spurs got fined for one game a few years ago as Hunter Cullen steps to the plate, shows bunt, pulls his bat back. It'll be a called strike 1. Greg Popovich pulled out, or he sat Danny Green, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili in a game against the Warriors. a few years ago. In layman's terms, those were the stars of the Spurs, and their head coach decided to sit him out for rest on a primetime Saturday night game. The 0-1 is swung on, foul behind home plate. The edge of the barrel of Cullen's bat was able to get a piece of that pitch from Barrett. Count at 0-2, no outs. Here in the bottom of the third, Calabrese on first with a single, the first hit of the day for Evansville.
You don't remember Bill Bradley, Princeton University.
I've heard of him, though.
Went to be a United States Senator, played with the New York Knicks.
That's right. No, he was on the Knicks 73 championship team.
Was that right?
71 and 73. Or 70 and 73, the last title by New York Knicks.
It was known for his great defense. And if you had to, I was one night, I happened to sit the second row behind the basket in Madison Square Garden in New York.
You saw those guys play?
Yeah, I used to go a lot of those games. But in this particular night,
the 1-2 pitch will be a called strike 3 to Hunter Cullen, and that'll be out number 1.
I tell you what, that is number 4 strikeouts.
Barrett is solid.
One,
he pitched
two,
well.
3, 4.
He's pitched well against the Otters. He earned no decisions, exiting both games with a lead.
Okay.
Good.
Well, anyway, Bradley is sitting in the second row. You're on ground level and you're seeing everything. No one's blocking you. And he was one of the dirtiest players you wanted. He was pulling on the guy's pants. He was pushing. He was shoving. And yet he was one of the great defensive players for the Knicks.
He's the one who executed the Princeton offense.
Oh, is that right?
Yep, as the first pitch to Tanner Wietrich is in the dirt for a ball. Okay. If you look back at those New York Knicks teams, you had the sixth man was Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
Who was the coach of the Chicago Bulls with Jordan.
For many years.
And he then was the coach of the Lakers with Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal.
Right.
1-0, swung on, and that'll be foul behind home plate, evening the count at 1.
Yeah,
you had Earl the Pearl Monroe at point guard. You had Walt Clyde Frazier at shooting guard. You had Dave DeBuscher, who was just a menace at center. And DeBuscher played baseball too, right?
You stole my thunder.
No, but I don't remember. Do you remember his baseball play?
Yes,
I certainly don't.
Yes. The Knicks had 2 professionals. I can't remember the other guy. One was actually it was 3. That one was with the Celtics. Played for the Boston Red Sox. The other one I'm talking about with the Knicks played with the Cleveland. They're minor league clubs, not major.
So did DeBuscher ever play in the majors? Or
no, they're minor leagues.
Okay.
And then there was a guy, oh boy, actually played with the Dodgers. Played with the Boston Celtics with Cousy, but actually had played with the Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yes.
See, I'm picking up what you're putting down every now and then.
Yeah, well, those were the days you could play 2 sports.
Right. Well, we have a 2-2 count to Tanner Wietrich with 1 out, 2-0 Grizzlies. Here in the bottom of the third, Calabrese on first, the Otters' first hit of the day. On deck will be David Cronin. Barrett fires a 2-2, and that will be just a bit outside to Wietrich. Count now full. Now, Austin, the fact that your grandfather and I just went on a tangent here and there, I think that's probably one of the benefits of having him with his knowledge just full of information pertaining to sports. And you can just go back and forth with him.
Oh, yeah. Constantly being able to hear everything that...
Swung on, blooper, that'll drop into right field for a base hit. A blooping single by Wietrich puts the Otters with runners on first and second with 1 out.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So constantly be able to hear all the stories that he has from all of his experiences through all the sports for what he's seen and what he's participated in makes it so you never have a boring time with him. It's always something new that you can hear.
Now,
thank you, Wilson. That's why you're my favorite grandson.
Now, Bill has talked about from time and time again, there was one day where a lot of the grandchildren came over and stole a lot of his autographed memorabilia from baseball and basketball and whatnot. Did you happen to participate in taking some memorabilia?
I actually did, yes.
Today
I did.
Okay.
He arrived today, and then he was up on the up on the shelves taking my equipment. But in fact, one of the things, Dave, which I pride, and I know Austin's grandmother said, "Oh, maybe Austin would like this," and it was one of mine. One of the things I got from the Otters here was a plaque with my picture, and sitting here with the microphone and the earphone, the earphones and all that. And Austin took that today, and
Whoa!
And it
Cronin nearly got hit with the baseball.
Yeah.
So he has a 2-0 count. Runners on a first and second with 1 out. Otters down 2-0. Yep.
So now I was going to say, now that he's up here in the broadcast booth with us, I think that would be more of something you could always remember me by, because say, well, I was up in the in the radio booth with my grandfather, so you could tell your children that.
2-0 the count to Cronin. 2 men on for the Otters, and they're down 2-0. Here's the pitch. That'll drop in there for a ball inside, a fastball from Barrett. Count now at 3-0. Barrett retired the first 6 Otters in order. He's in a bit of a jam right now. Otters need to take advantage with the spark plug at the plate.
Yes, David is the spark plug, and he's from Chicago, and
his 3-0 pitch. Taking a strike, he thought that would go ahead, Bill. Say it.
Yeah. Hey, boy, get back here.
So time and time again, there have been not just the Otters players, but opponents would think that a strike was a ball and a ball was a strike. So Cronin, in that particular instance, thought that was ball 4 instead, strike 1. So now it's a 3-1 count with 1 out to Cronin. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Otters down 2-0. Here's the next pitch.
Now that's ball 4.
Yeah, that's right. So the base is now loaded for the Otters. Going over to third is Calabrese. To second is Wietrich. Both of those men singled. Cronin works a walk, and the bases are loaded with 1 out. If you're Keith Griesaber, don't hit a ground ball unless it's very hard through the infield.
Yes, or a dribbler allowing the runner to score, but yet only getting the 1 out at first base.
Now, Bill, before Keith Griesaber steps to the plate, I saw a fan in attendance wearing a Houston Astros Roy Oswalt shirt, and I remember that because you told me you scouted Craig Biggio, who was on those Astros teams.
Right. Seton Hall University. Also, New Yorker. Biggio was from New York. That's where I scouted him as a high schooler.
And his son is currently playing with the Toronto Blue Jays.
Yes, yes.
Keith Griesaber to the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Bases loaded for the Otters. They're down 2-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Barrett fires the first pitch. That'll be on the outside corner for strike 1. Knee high away to Griesaber. Questioning the call, but will step back into the batter's box. 0-1 the count, 1 out, bases juiced here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, he was, Biggio was playing shortstop in high school. Then he got to Seton Hall University. He was the catcher.
0-1, that will be a similar location, except this time it's called a ball on a fastball from Barrett. Even count at 1 with 1 out.
And if you remember, that's where he started his career in the majors as a catcher and later played center field, played second base. Very athletic.
So 1-1 the count to Griesaber. Here's the third pitch. That'll be upstairs for ball 2. Important sequence right now for both teams as we are still early in the game, but if we look at how the Otters score their runs throughout the season, they generally score a majority of them in the 3rd, 5th, and 7th innings. 2-1 the count to Griesaber. Bases juiced, and now Griesaber will call time. Entering today's game, the Otters have scored 52 runs in the 3rd inning. They've scored 54 in the 5th and 55 in the 7th.
Oh, in the 50s. They were the best years, the 50s.
I can't recall. I'm born in 95. 2 and now 3-1 the count to Griesaber. That pitch was a ball outside. Bases loaded, and most likely this pitch will be a strike, although Phil Warren, the manager for the Grizzlies, goes out to talk to his starter.
Yeah.
So, Austin.
Yeah.
And chemical radiation, right?
Nuclear radiation protection.
Nuclear radiation. God bless you. Too much science, right?
In college, it was a lot of science. In the actual field, for my aspect to it, since I'm just a contracting agent, like I don't actually work at the plant. I just get sent to them. There's not too much of the science aspect I have to do. A lot of it's just like routine work and checking instruments and just recording down dose rates. But once you get to the actual like working at the plant, then there's a lot more science involved in it.
Okay. So you're born and raised in Illinois?
I was born in Iowa.
Okay.
Clinton, Iowa, right there at the border where Dad met my mom, and then want to say maybe
3-1 on. Ooh, Grease Amber thought that was ball 4. Instead, it's strike 2. Full count, bases loaded, 1 out, 2-0 Grizzlies. Otters have a good chance to put at least 1 on the board. A ball into the outfield will have a good chance to score 2 to tie the game. Grease Amber needs to look for his pitch. Barrett from the left side of the rubber. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss on a strikeout, an important strikeout for Barrett. There are now 2 away here in the bottom of the 3rd. I apologize for cutting you off, Austin.
Oh, it's perfectly fine.
So, Iowa?
Yeah, Clinton, Iowa, and then I want to say 7 or 8, then I moved to Illinois, and I've been there since.
Okay. So, as far as your rooting interest other than the Otters for baseball, what are some of your sports teams' rooting interests?
Being from Illinois is kind of a taboo thing, but I am a Green Bay Packer fan for football.
Wow.
I know.
Okay. First pitch to Ryan Long. Pop up in the infield. Playable for Daniel, and he makes the catch. The Otters leave the bases loaded as we head to the 4th. Otters down 2-0. We have Austin here, the grandson of Bill McCune. Go ahead, finish off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, it's perfectly fine. Baseball, for the longest time, was a Marlins fan from great Uncle Jack.
Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Not the Padres? Because Grandpop worked for the Padres for numbers of years.
Okay. Well, it was mostly from young age being impressionable, him telling me all about Uncle Jack with the Marlins at that age. Was like, all right, I'm liking them, family stuff, young age being impressioned by it, and then just carried on.
Do you remember the 2003 World Series?
I remember a little bit about it. I know I got a little hate from a few of my coworkers, actually, because they were diehard Cubs fans, and they were telling me, I was telling them about my relation to Uncle Jack, and they said that they now hated me from that moment because that year was like one of the best years for the Cubs to possibly win the World Series. The Marlins took them out.
Well, do you remember that game specifically?
I do not remember this specifically.
You don't remember you haven't seen, there's a documentary out that occurred before the Cubs won in 2016. It was Wait Till Next Year, and a good part of that documentary was about the 2003 Cubs season. Mark Pryor on the mound, the ace of the Cubs at that point, and the Cubs were up, I believe they're up 2 in the 6th or 7th. It's the infamous Steve Bartman play about the fan who interfered with a foul ball.
And now, be careful. No, he didn't interfere. It was in the stands. He had the right to catch that.
Questionable call of whether the fan Steve Bartman would have interfered with Moises Alou trying to catch that foul ball in left field. And from that point on, the Marlins would score. They not only tie the game, but score and end up winning Game 6 and won Game 7 at Wrigley. And then they went on to defeat the Yankees that year as well in the World Series.
Mr. Beckett.
This pitch is swung on, hit well to center field, but playable for Cullen. And he makes the catch for out number 1. It was Luke Daniel on that particular, Andrew Daniel, on that particular play. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the 4th.
What David's talking about, Austin, is the Cubs thought they were robbed, and it was interference on the fans' part. And, of course,
this pitch is swung on foul towards the Otters bullpen and right field.
I think someone even went into litigation to sue the umpire or somebody or something. But actually, if you look at it, it was maybe 2 or 3 feet into the stands where the guy reached. And, of course, the outfielder, went in. But I think it deflected off his hands, wasn't it? And
this ground ball, good cutoff by Wietrich.
Wow.
Throw over to for first.
Oh, my
And
God.
a spinning play, athleticism there by Tanner Wietrich at shortstop. Fielded the ground ball, spun around, threw over to first and Meggs to get out number 2.
Again, between this past week and now tonight, the Otters defense has been super.
That's right.
But anyway, Uncle Jack won the thing, and the Cubs never forgot. We beat them in the Padres beat them in 184 when we won the National League Championship. They thought they were going to win it, and I was at the New York Sports Writers dinner, which was the mecca of winter sports
Media writers?
Yeah,
Media members?
Right, and you got like 5,000 fans, or I shouldn't say fans, people in this place, and of course they got 3
fly ball center field. It's going to drop over the head of Wietrich into center field for a base hit for Greg White. His first hit in this series, his 5th hit as a Grizzly.
They have 3 rows of the dais, so you can imagine how many people are going to be there. And all of a sudden they said, and here we have the National League Championship manager, Jim Fry. And people looked at me and they said, hey, I thought the Padres won the National League. They introduced Jim Fry as the manager of the National League Championship Chicago Cubs.
There's an 0-1 count, and Calabrese attempted to pitch out and throw down to first base.
And by the way, just for edification purposes, David, Jim Fry played here with the Evansville Braves in 1952.
The next pitch from Sittinger is a called strike. Count now at 0-2 with 2 outs to Zach Taylor. Taylor's 0 for 1 today with a ground out. Runner on first, 2 outs, 2-0 Grizzlies. The Otters had the bases loaded back in the bottom of the 3rd and couldn't score. The 0-2 pitch swung on, foul territory, third base side, and that will be another foul ball. They have the count remain at 0-2. So I'm assuming, Austin, this isn't your first time at Bosse Field.
No, I've been here before. It was a long while ago, though, because most of the times whenever I come out and visit, it wasn't really baseball season. So this is the first time in quite a few years since I've been able to witness a game here.
And he raved about the food.
0-2, foul down the third base line.
And he was, Davey was raving, just like you, about how delicious the food was.
Yes.
The culinary delicious items on the menu.
The best item might be the fried chicken sandwich that's right in front of me right now.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
0-2 the count. Runner on first. 2 outs, 2-0 Grizzlies, top of the 4th. The 0-2 pitch, swung on, ground ball to Ryan Long. Throws it over to second for the force out, and that will end the inning. Well, Austin, thank you for joining us on the radio, as well as enjoying the ball game here. Hopefully the Otters can score some runs and come out with a victory later on tonight.
Well, now Austin could go back home and call his cousin Amanda Muller and say, hey, you weren't the only ones on the radio. I was too.
That's right.
So, Austin, thank you for coming up.
Thank you very much for letting me be up here. It was a wonderful experience to be able to talk with both of you, and hopefully the Otters do get some runs. I think they're going to heat up a little bit, getting used to this left-handed pitcher, because I know it'd take me a while to get used to it.
All right. Austin, we'll come back after this quick break. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at Slays Restoration.
Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. It was nice enough for your grandson Austin to come on and join us for a couple innings.
Yeah, we don't see him that often, and, he lives in Illinois, and we don't get over to that part too much, but he's certainly a nice young man.
So I think I've had the pleasure to see, I guess, basically your entire family in a sense.
Well, yeah, that's right. You saw
all the grandchildren from the Northeast.
Well, you saw a couple of them, not all.
Okay.
There's 12 altogether.
12 grandchildren.
Yeah.
From both sides.
Yeah.
Okay, 12.
Well, you got me on both sides.
Oh, never mind. It's been a long couple of days.
That's okay. Anyway, yeah, 12 grandchildren and 2 great-grandchildren, and one of the great-grandchildren was the one that said hello. Remember, we cut her off.
I do.
She's in the 2nd grade now, and so far she hasn't been called to the principal's office.
Well, school just started, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, generally, she gets introduced to the principal the first day.
This pitch is swung on to right field, playable for the right fielder Woodcock, and there's one away as Elijah McNamee is retired.
Yeah, no, Shaylin has a tendency of telling the teacher how to teach.
What?
Yeah, let me put it this way. She's not bashful.
She's honest?
Oh, is she?
A 2nd grader trying to tell the 2nd grade teacher that went through all the years of schooling as well as all the experience teaching in elementary school to get her job. You have your great-granddaughter telling her what to do at her job?
Oh, yeah. Well, she comes over to the house and gets on the computer and tells me what to do with the computer.
Sounds like a good time.
Oh.
The 0-1 to Lane is a ground ball sharply to the shortstop Sakurai. Throw over to first, and a good scoop by Luke Lowry to get Taylor Lane in time for out number 2.
I have a famous saying with her, Dave. I said, oh, the poor guy that ever marries you.
She's in 2nd grade, Bill.
Yeah, oh, yeah, but I'll tell you what. She may be in 2nd grade, but she's got the mind of a 15, 16-year-old. Yeah.
Oh, man. Jack Meggs to the plate. The Otters had the bases loaded back in the bottom of the 3rd and could not cross a run to home plate. They have 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 4th. Meggs is 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging, and he takes a first pitch strike in this at-bat with Jordan Barrett here in the bottom of the 4th. Counted 0-1 with 2 outs. We have a really good crowd tonight, as it is St. Vincent's night here at Bosse Field, one of our presenting sponsors this evening. And here's the 0-1 pitch from Barrett. It'll be a late foul ball as Meggs had the check swing and he sort of let his bat there and swung on at a fastball that was upstairs, and really it should have been ball number 1.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think he committed his hips and his shoulders toward the batter, toward the pitcher, and with that, the bat just happened to be in the wrong place where the ball was.
0-2 the count to Meggs in a lefty-lefty matchup. Barrett comes set, fires the 0-2. There'll be a ball outside. Count now at 1-2 with 2 outs.
You know, you're talking about St. Vincent's. I've had the experience of being a patient for a heart attack there. I had the visitation of being a patient for a cancer operation. 2 operations, I should say.
1-2 swung on, foul behind home plate.
And let me see, 1 heart attack. 2 pacemakers implanted. So, they've made a few bucks off me. In fact, that last visit to, where I had trouble with my stomach, that was $21,000.
Jesus. And a swing and a miss, and Meggs loses the bat. And that'll be ending the inning as Barrett has retired the Otters in order in the bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Grizzlies. We head to the 5th. on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We're in the top of the fifth. The Grizzlies of Gateway are up 2-0 over the Evansville Otters. They scored one run on a fielder's choice that was unearned by Sean Dunston Jr., and then a solo home run by Dustin Woodcock made the score 2-0. We're in the top of the fifth, an 0-1 count to Connor Owings as we are back at the top of the order for Gateway. Sittinger kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss on the fastball from Sittinger. Count at 0-2. Owings today is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, a walk, and a run scored. He has an open stance as he steps in on the left side of the box. Sittinger will now come set from the belt, fires an 0-2. And that'll be a called strike 3. 3 pitches, 1 out. All of them strikes. We'll bring up Brent Zachary, who has been a thorn in the spine of the Otters throughout the season. Of his 5 home runs hit this year, 3 of them have been against the Otters.
Oh, boy, that's, that's the story of professional baseball.
First pitch to Zachary is in the dirt for ball 1.
The guy could, there's certain ballparks that one plays in that you can't get him out. And then there's other ballparks you can't buy a hit even you hit $1 million.
1-0 right there for strike 1.
I used to, going back to Kingsport, Tennessee, when I was in that Appalachian League, they couldn't get me out. I mean, no matter what, I hit a lot of home runs and did great there. Then we go to Johnson City, Tennessee, and I'll tell you what, I don't think I ever got a hit in 50 times at bat. I could not. And they were a pretty good team.
1-2 the count after the called strike from Sittinger. Zachary now needs to protect. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a high fastball for out number 2. Back-to-back strikeouts for Sittinger. 2 up, 2 down in the 5th. To the plate now is Dustin Woodcock, who extended the Grizzlies' lead to 2-0 after a solo home run that occurred in the 3rd. He's 1 for 1 with a walk as well. Woodcock hitting .211 on the year, 9 home runs, now make it 10 after today. First pitch is outside, a fastball for ball 1. Count at 1-0 with 2 outs to Dustin Woodcock. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball low and outside for ball 2. So Sittinger is now trying to make Woodcock to chase as he doesn't want to throw a pitch down the heart of the plate.
Well, you know, we talked about the first 2 innings.
This next pitch is foul behind home plate to move the count to 2-1.
And Sinninger didn't have his best stuff. He didn't have control. He walked the first batter and he walked the third batter, which is this young man here at bat now, Whitcock, which
the 2-1 pitch.
Loaded the bases in that situation, and that's how they scored that 1 run. However, since that inning, he hasn't walked the batter. So he has found his groove, and he's doing well.
3-1 swung on, and that's foul down the third base line. Count now full with 2 outs.
Yeah, he got his, maybe he got his proper stride in. You know, sometimes those pitchers, the mound doesn't adjust to their delivery, and they've got to kick a little dirt, make a little hole.
Payoff pitch, pop up, shallow left field. The shortstop, now Grieshaber, says, hey, I got it for out number 3. Calls off Wietrich, and that will end the top of the 5th. Otters need to get some runs on the board. They're down 2-0, heading to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to Evansville Otters Baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Gwynn, Bill McCune on the call. We're in the bottom of the 5th here at Bosse Field. The Otters only have 2 hits today. The first one came from this guy at the plate in Rob Calabrese.
Yeah, and Tanner was the second one. Gave us the opportunity to load the bases, but we just left those ducks die on the pond.
The first pitch to Calabrese, swing and a miss on a high fastball from Barrett. Count at 0-1. So the Otters, as I noted earlier, they score a lot of runs in the 3rd inning. They score also a lot in the 5th inning. They've scored 54 runs in the 5th, to be exact, heading into tonight's ball game. This next pitch is swung on and foul, moving the count quickly to 0-2 to Calabrese. So the Otters are down 2-0. They had the bases loaded in the bottom of the 3rd, and as Bill, you said, they could not manage to get a run across home plate.
And last night, Dave, as I was leaving the ballpark, one of our fans stopped me and said,
0-2, low and away for ball 1.
They enjoyed your interview with Mike, Big Mike's father.
Oh, really?
Yes. He said, they really, really enjoyed it, and you did a terrific job of interviewing. So
I appreciate
a little
it.
compliment your way.
Thank you. The 1-2, it will be a pop-up foul territory, first base side. Lowry is there to make the catch for out number 1.
A little shaky out there.
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Kind of lost it in the air or not in the air. He lost it in the light for a minute.
Yeah.
So to the plate now is Hunter Cullen. He struck out looking in his last at-bat and probably wants that one taken back. Cullen hitting .264 on the year with 57 hits. A lefty-lefty matchup. Cullen this time, if he goes down, he wants to go down swinging rather than looking. He takes a first pitch, called strike, belt high inside, counted 0-1 with 1 out.
And Leslie Jones, who's on the tip of the grass there. There he comes, moves in again.
0-1, swing and a miss for strike 2.
And now he'll move back into a good third base position, and acknowledging that Hunter could bunt with his speed, and therefore they were taking no chances.
He's not guarding the line down the third base line, that's for sure. So maybe an opposite field hit could help out Hunter's cause right here. 0-2 swung on, and that'll be foul down the first base line. 31 RBIs and 8 home runs on the season for Hunter Cullen. Man from Newport Beach, California. He grew up, and when he went to the breakfast table in the morning, he saw the beach and was a bike ride away from hanging out at the beach throughout his childhood.
Well, that's interesting.
0-2 swung on, ground ball to the second baseman, and he will overthrow the first baseman, Lowry. Advancing to second on the air, and now the ball sails into center field. Dunston right there to back up the throw. It'll be an E4 on the second baseman, Daniel. Cullen put good contact on that ball. Just an error by the third baseman or second baseman, Daniel, and now the Otters will try to make that mistake pay.
Well, you know, there was a mistake made on the second baseman's part. He was too close to the first baseman to be underhanding a hard throw. That's the type, I know it's hard to do, but that's when you shuffle it and you don't throw. You're not allowing the first baseman any flexibility. I mean, here comes a ball. You're 10 feet away, and the ball's coming at you 40 miles an hour.
So to the plate now is Tanner Wietrich, who singled back in his last at-bat in the third. He's got Cullen on second base, this time with 1 out. 2-0 Grizzlies. Here's the pitch to Wietrich. Swung on, hit to right field. Going down the right field line is Woodcock. Can he make the catch? No, he cannot. It will be ruled a foul ball.
Yeah, he came close, though, down there.
That was close to being fair.
Yeah.
I mean, from a bias standpoint, I would have called that a fair ball, but that's why I'm up here and not down there.
Well,
it was foul.
Sometimes those guys down there belong up here, too.
That's fair. In timeout. So a big spot for Tanner Wietrich. When I talked to him last, it seems that when he gets to the plate, there's normally 2 outs with runners on. This time there's 1 runner on with 1 out. Trying to take advantage of an opportunity right here. Righty-lefty matchup. Barrett checks Cullen at second. Here's the 0-1. This now is popped up shallow right field. Playable for Woodcock. Can he make the catch? He does. Trying to tag, but then holding at second base is Hunter Cullen. And now there are 2 away. Here in the bottom of the 5th, David Cronin now steps to the dish.
Well, the little spark plug does ignite the fire under the Evansville Otter team, so hopefully he could ignite a fire right now.
Maybe the third time will be a charm for Cronin, as he is 0 for 1 today with a strikeout in the first, and he walked in the third.
David does get a lot of walks.
Came in with an on-base percentage of .379.
That's pretty good.
He's pretty strong as well.
All right, there's daylight between
first pitch to Cronin, swung on, foul territory, third base side, trying to hustle, and making the catch was the third baseman Jones. Cullen stranded at second base. We head to the 6th. Otters down 2-0 to Gateway on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
GD Ritzies is a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball. GD Ritzy's menu features hamburgers, grilled chicken sandwiches, old-fashioned peanut butter and jelly, and ice cream. With 3 Evansville locations: west at 4810 University Drive, on the north side at 4320 North First Avenue, and on the east side at 601 North Green River Road. GD Ritzy's is open from 10 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. GD Ritzy's, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
Heritage Federal Credit Union has 7 full-service branches in both Evansville and Newburgh, serving more than 38,000 members. Membership is open to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Vandenberg or Warwick County. Heritage Federal Credit Union offers mortgage and consumer loans, checking and savings accounts, as well as online banking for members. Heritage Federal Credit Union can be reached toll-free by phone at 1-800-858-1693. It can also be found online at hfcu.info.
The Hoosier Lottery began selling lottery tickets on October 13, 1989. Since then, the Hoosier Lottery has offered hundreds of different games, awarded prizes to millions of players, and given billions of dollars to the state of Indiana. The Hoosier Lottery's mission is to responsibly provide innovative and entertaining lottery games for the benefit of the citizens of Indiana. To learn more about the Hoosier Lottery, visit them online at HoosierLottery.com. The Hoosier Lottery, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. 2-0 Grizzlies here in the top of the 6th. First pitch from Sittinger is a swing and a miss to Luke Lowry for strike 1.
Yeah, Secret Weapon's got to get that bell ringing right now to ignite this team.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Soft ground ball, long charges, throws over to first. 1 away.
I tell you what, athleticism that young man has. Even in my younger days, I don't think I could do half the things he does.
There are times when we've seen it, Ryan Long makes the tough plays look easy.
I know it. I mean, he was off balance, threw it underhand, like a snap, and I could never do those things. I don't think many of us could in those days.
To the plate now is Sean Dustin Jr. He's 0 for 1 with a fielder's choice.
You know, the other thing I'm going to tell you about his father, first time I ever seen his father was over in Staten Island, Tottenville to be exact.
Oh, yeah?
And as the bus came in from Brooklyn, of course, they took the ferry.
He shows bunt, then fouls it down the third base line.
They come in on the Verrazano Bridge, and the bus, Sean's father was the first one off that bus. And then they went and got dressed to, put their bikes on the bench. He was the first one out on the field. He showed he wanted to play.
1-1, foul behind home plate. Count moves to 1-2.
And I'll always remember there was a gully going down the first baseline. Rains and most of the fields, no matter if you're in California or in New Jersey or New York, when it rains.
1-2, ground ball right at Jack Meggs with a backhand stop. Touches the first base bag for out number 2.
It finds gullies and affects the ball. Anyway, Sean hit a ground ball to shortstop. His father now, Sean the father, hit a ball at shortstop, and he went down first base, hobbling, missing, going over the rut, is what I'm trying to say. And I remember some scout says, hey, look, he doesn't know how to run. That scout should have been fired. Anyway.
0-1 the count to Andrew Daniel, who had the error earlier in the game. Next pitch is drop. Ooh, that hit him.
Yeah.
It grazed the sleeve of Daniel. That is good enough for a hit batsman. So with 2 outs, a base runner is awarded for the Gateway Grizzlies. There are 2 away in the top of the 6th. Grizzlies up 2-0, 2 runs on 3 hits. One of those hits was a solo home run by Dustin Woodcock. Jones to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Sittinger fires. Swing and a miss, a high fastball for strike 1.
I should ask this young Dunston if he knew his grandfather. Not his father, but his father's father.
Right.
He always wore one of those felt hats.
0-1, swing and a miss on another heater from Sittinger.
That was like his pride and joy, you know. I mean, a felt hat in those days, that was the thing. So I wonder if he ever knew his grandfather, if he still wears those hats.
And here's the 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Swung on to right field. Can McNamee get there? No, he can't. Going over to third on contact. Throw. Ooh, good stop there by Ryan Long.
No.
So McNamee rifled that ball to Ryan Long at third. He was... he allowed the ball to bounce in front of him.
That was a good play. Because he couldn't have caught that. Where Big Mac made a mistake, if I may say so, was thrown at the third base. Number one, there was no backup. And number two, he should have been thrown into the second baseman to stop the runner from going to second base.
So now in another jam is Brandon Sittinger. There's an open bag at second. There are 2 outs. To the plate is White, Greg White, who had the first hit in this series back in the 4th. Throw over to first, and the tag is not applied by Meggs.
I don't think Mr. Meggs was ready for that.
Here's the first pitch. It'll be inside for a ball 1. Some fans wanted that one to be a called strike. Instead, it's a count at 1-0.
Yeah.
Top 6, 2-0 Grizzlies. Runners on the corners with 2 outs. Sittinger comes set, fires a 1-0 pitch to White. It's a fastball, and later on tipped, says the home plate umpire, Creel Waddell, to even the count at 1.
No relation to Randy.
Probably not.
And Randy lived in Baltimore. He was from down there in Baltimore.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss, another heater for strike 2. Two runs, one of them have been earned on the line for Sittinger. Sittinger takes a deep breath from the belt. He comes set, fires a 1-2. Foul ball down the first base line. Count remains at 1-2. Game has been, in a sense, another pitcher's duel. We haven't seen a lot of offense. Well, in Game 1 against River City, we did. We saw 13 runs scored, 8-5 in favor of River City that day in Game 1. The 1-2, Sittinger wanted that call on the outside corner. He doesn't get it, and the count is now even at 2 with 2 outs.
I think the series with the Rascals, both teams had scored 9 runs until the Otters came through with that wild pitch, and they scored, giving them 10.
Right.
So within that would be, well, it was 9 innings for the first.
Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Sittinger gets the Otters out of the inning. Now let's see if the Otters bats can go to work in the bottom of the 6th. You're listening to Evansville Otters baseball on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local Chapter 16, would like to take time to say, Go Otters! The IBEW Local 16's jurisdiction includes 13 counties in southwestern Indiana, as well as Wabash County in Illinois. Its members are divided into several categories of electrical work, including inside construction, maintenance electric, residential wiring, and sign class. More information on IBEW Local 16 can be found online at IBEW16.net.
The Tri-State Area Marathon service stations are proud supporters of the Evansville Otters. Marathon has over 5,100 Marathon-branded stations nationwide, and a full list of area Marathon stations and a list of daily gas prices are available online at mymarathonstation.com. Marathon provides products which support commercial, industrial, and retail operations. Marathon's slogan is Fueling the American Spirit.
This Evansville Otters broadcast is made possible through support from New Image Travel. New Image Travel provides motor coach charter service to the United States and Canada with pickup within a 150-mile radius of Evansville. A full list of New Image Travel's offerings can be found online at newimagecharter.com. New Image Travel can be reached toll-free at 1-800-432-6213. New Image Travel, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We are in the bottom of the sixth. The Otters are down by a score of 2-0 as Jordan Barrett is throwing the ball well against the Otters. He has limited the Otters offense to 2 hits. Let's see as the Otters meat of the order comes up. Batters 2, 3, and 4. Keith Griesaber, Ryan Long, and Elijah McNamee. All 3 men today have combined to go 0 for 6 heading into their third at-bats right now. Let's see if Keith Griesaber can change that with one swing of the bat. Keith is 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out, hitting .286 on the season.
We don't have a batter over 300.
If you want to be technical...
Well, not counting Lane.
Right.
Yeah, not counting him.
First pitch will be in the dirt for ball 1. Keith Griesaber was hitting over 300.
Yeah, 302 at one time. So was, I think, David. Didn't he get up there about 300 for a day or two?
I think so.
Yeah.
The 1-0 pitch. That'll be in there for a called strike 2 on the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Barrett comes set, fires a 1-1. Foul ball behind home plate, count moving to 1-2. I want to give a special shout out and a hello to the parents of Andy McCauley, Helen, and Jack. And we all appreciate you listening in on every broadcast. 1-2 the count. No outs. Here's the next pitch to Griesaber. Swung on and foul behind home plate once more. Count remains at 1-2 to the St. Louis, Missouri native. Righty-lefty matchup. Barrett shakes off a sign from his catcher, Taylor. Now they agree on a pitch. Here's the 1-2. That'll be a called strike 3 down the heart of the plate for out number 1. To the plate now is Ryan Long. Ryan is 0 for 2. Maybe the third time can be the charm for Ryan today. Ryan did all he could in the Rascals series.
Had a heck of a series. Home run, not home run, doubles, RBIs.
He was a foot short of a home run.
Yep. Yeah.
The first pitch to Ryan Long be a called strike. A bit off speed from Barrett. Count moves to 0-1 to Long. And here is the 0-1 pitch.
See now, suppose somebody out there in the Bud Light patio had reached out and interfered with that. You know, it would have been a ground rule double. But
the 1-1 swung on to the opposite field and left, and that will be another diving catch by the left fielder, Greg White. He has robbed 2 Otters of 2 hits today.
Yeah, that's true. I thought there goes a single for Ryan, and possibly when he made that dive, that if it got by him, Ryan could have been on second base. But Ryan came up short.
That was going to drop for sure.
Yeah, that was dropping. But again, that guy out there in left field, Mr. White, is doing a yeoman's job.
To the plate now is Elijah McNamee, who is also 0 for 2 today. Here's the first pitch. Drops in there for strike 1. Got to give Barrett a lot of credit. It seems that almost every Otters batter, he's ahead in the count.
Oh, yeah. He's got the he's got the Otters number. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 strikeouts.
So do I. 1-1 the count to McNamee. Here's the third pitch. Swung on to center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. McNamee will round first and then retreat back there. It'll be a 2-out single for the former Mississippi State Bulldog. And maybe his single can start a 2-out rally. To the plate now is Taylor Lane, who is also 0 for 2. He was robbed of a hit by White in left field for his first at-bat. And then he hit a ground out to the shortstop Sakurai in the fourth. McNamee on first. The third hit of the day for Evansville. Lane takes a called strike. Count moves to 0-1.
Well, McAbee was batting .282. That's not bad. That's respectable.
He was batting at .300 at one point, but he has also played 23 games as an Otter. 0-1. That drops in there for a called strike 2 to Taylor Lane.
Yeah.
Count at 0-2 with 2 outs.
Well, before tonight's game, David Cronin was batting .292 and Lane was .304, but Lane is 0 for 2, so and he's under 300 now.
The 0-2 pitch. That'll be a ball outside. Count moves to 1-2.
Yeah, when you're batting less than, I'm going to say 50 points, and you go 0 for whatever, you drop about 6 or 7. However, if you're batting 200 times at bat.
1-2, swung on, foul down the right field line.
Yeah, if you're batting over 200 times at bat and you go 0 for 4, you might go down 2 or 3 points. So the more at bats you have, the less your point average goes down when you have a bad day.
Barrett comes set, checks McNamee at first. His 1-2. Swing and a miss on a high fastball for strike 3. Otters retired as we head to the 7th. 2-0 Grizzlies the score on the Otters Digital Network and 91.5 WUEV.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The local Pepsi Bottling Group features Pepsi Company products for distribution to retailers and vendors in the tri-state and would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. The Pepsi Bottling Group has locations at 2605 West Marion Street in Marion, Illinois, 3081 Contronics Drive in Owensboro, Kentucky, and 11733 West Industrial Park Drive in Elberfeld, Indiana. Information on Pepsi products can be found online at PepsiCo.com. Pepsi, a proud supporter of the Evansville Otters.
WUEV listeners, you can catch Evansville Otters baseball this week, Tuesday through Sunday on 91.5 FM WUEV. And remember, the Otters pregame warm-up begins 15 minutes prior to first pitch. You can listen on 91.5 FM, WUEV.org, EvansvilleOtters.com, and through TuneIn Radio. It's Evansville Otters baseball on WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. We are in the top of the 7th. Michael Gizzi on the mound in a pitcher-catcher battery. Brandon Sittinger's night is done. He went 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks.
Another fine pitching performance from the Otter starting pitcher. We've had Welsh and Nicely and
Beardsley.
We had some real good pitching from the starters.
First pitch from Gizzy to Taylor, swung on to right field. McNamee on the run.
Fair ball.
And it will be ruled foul on the diving attempt by McNamee.
Is he okay?
I think he will be okay. His teammates in the bullpen are going to check up on him, as that is a long foul ball for strike one.
Well, he's taking his time. Generally, when you're hurt, you don't have that pep in your walk.
Pep in your step?
Yeah. See how he's just coasting along? I bet he injured himself some way.
I hope he doesn't. He's a tough kid. And,
yeah. Well, athletes don't
show no mercy.
That's right. Cut their arm off and they still come after you.
0-1 the count to Zach Taylor. Taylor is 0 for 2 today with 2 groundouts.
Have you noticed a couple of these batters, the bat that they're using, it's got the same color as their shirt?
I do, yeah. The 0-1. It'll be a fastball inside for a ball one. Count even at 1 to Taylor, as the Gateway Grizzlies have powder blue uniforms, and the barrel of some of their bats are powder blue as well. The 1-1 from Gizzy. Fastball dropping in there for strike 2.
Well, I'm going to say we got about a 3,700 crowd here tonight.
All right.
Good crowd.
Well, we'll find out later on.
Yeah.
I'll take the under. Slightly. 1-2, swing and a miss, and that'll be another strikeout. The first strikeout of the inning from Michael Gizzy.
Okay, now what you just saw is Benito Santiago. In spring training '84, I got on him for that. All Rob had to do, the batter was still there in the batting at home plate. All he had to do was tag him, but he jumped out and threw it to first base. Suppose he threw it into right field.
Right.
Just tag him.
Connor Owings to the plate. His first pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1.
Yeah.
Owings today is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. He also has 2 strikeouts.
You know, you'd be surprised how many catchers in throwing to first base throw it into right field. And I was one of them.
The 1-0 pitch. Swung on, hit to deep right center field. Going back is Cullen on his horse to the wall, and that ball is off the top of the center field wall and right center field, hit off the
I think that's a home run. I think someone caught it and dropped it back, because there was no way Hunter could have stood there at the Old National Bank sign, waited, and then got the ball and relaxed in throwing it back in. There's no way. It had to be fan interference or a home run, and the fan brought it back. I don't know, but I'm going to say it was a home run.
Because I was surprised how quickly the ball came back into the field of play.
Yeah, but I mean, Hunter just stood there and waited for the ball to come down. He didn't leap. He didn't hurry to get the ball. He just...
Right, and now it is ruled a home run. A solo home run for Connor Owings extends this Grizzlies lead to 3. And now Otters skipper Andy McCauley is furious out there, putting his face into the grill of Creel Waddle, the home plate umpire. Andy is fumed. Let's see, fun fact while the discussion out on home plate, or out on the field. And Andy's getting a little too close for comfort in there.
Is in his face. He's out.
And McCauley is tossed. Crowd likes it. And he's still yapping. All right. Today, in 1927, Babe Ruth hits a home run at the newly constructed Kaminsky Park. He hits it on the roof of the grandstand off of Tommy Thomas.
That was the years of the Murderers Row, they called it, with...
the 27 Yankees.
That's right. That was Murderers Row.
Garrick.
Garrick.
Ruth and Garrick, right?
Yeah.
And, skipper McCauley rubs dirt on home plate. That's how frustrated he is. And I don't know, I gotta tell you, I've never seen Andy this animated before in my short career with the Otters right now.
Well, I'll top you.
Okay.
In 10 years, I've never seen Andy exhibit this type of anger. I've seen him argue for a little and get thrown out, but that's it. But to go through
the crowd likes it.
Oh yeah, well that's what managers do. You excite the crowd, and hopefully you excite your team to go out and fight twice as hard. But again, I don't want to pat myself on the back, but I said it was a home run.
To be quite honest with you, I thought it was too, because there is a white sign out there in right center field. So it could have camouflaged in with a white sign, but.
Well, I went with the reaction of Hunter. Cullen is just sitting there waiting with no action, and then all of a sudden here comes the ball, and he throws it in nonchalantly into in other words, he admitted that it was a home run.
Swing and a miss to Brent Sakurai. You know what that probably did? I hope. It ignites the club to get the bats going in the bottom of the seventh.
Well, I hope so, too. You know, I've had the experience, Dave, that I had a similar play many, many years ago, and I was arguing with the umpire, and I said, we're going to bring that outfielder in. My boys don't lie to me. So I brought the outfielder in. I said, now, did it go over the fence or did it bounce over the fence? He said, oh no, Coach, it bounced over. And, of course, I ended up getting thrown out of the game. After the game, my player comes and said, really, it did go over the fence, Coach, but I thought you wanted me to say it bounced. I said, no, after I'm saying my boys don't lie. So anyway, we could have solved the problem by going out and asking Hunter what happened.
Here's the 1-2 from Gizzy. It's a fastball upstairs. And I'm going to give a special shout-out to Tyrone, the Reverend here at the ballpark, the Otters chaplain who's been here since 2004. He complimented us earlier, saying that we do a wonderful job.
Yeah, I remember him from 2004 when Greg...
Here's a pop-up.
Jeltz was our manager.
Cronin says he's got it, and he makes the catch for out number 2.
Yeah, Greg Jeltz was the manager at that time, and the Reverend used to come in to say hello. And, I remember him then. Of course, I was coaching. And but I was going to say, too, Dave, that it's ironic how it's just coincidental that we bring in a relief pitcher, and so far we have had home runs hit against them.
So to the plate now is Dustin Woodcock, who also has a solo home run.
Yeah.
First pitch is upstairs for a ball 1. I got to tell you, the last time I saw a display like that happen, there's a play on ESPN's Not Top 10, and there's a minor league manager, I believe, for one of the Atlanta Braves affiliates. He got so mad that he spat on the mound, he covered dirt on home plate, and then he tossed home plate and threw it over to third base.
Yeah, I've seen all kinds.
The 1-1 will be a fastball just a bit inside for ball 2 to Dustin Woodcock.
Some of your better ones was Lou Piniella. Oh, but that's gone.
So now the count is even at 2. 2 outs. Otters down 3-0. 3 runs on 5 hits. Here's Gizzy's 2-2 pitch. They'll be outside for ball 3. On deck will be Luke Lowry if we get there. Gizzy now has a payoff pitch to Woodcock. Here it is. Upstairs for ball 4. So a solo home run hit by Owings extends this Grizzlies lead to 3-0. Sakurai popped up to Cronin. Woodcock is now awarded a walk. Luke Lowry to the dish. Luke is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. First pitch from Gizzy drops in there for strike 1. 0-1 the count. 2 outs. Top 7. Otters looking for 2 more strikes or 1 more out. The next pitch is a ball in the dirt. Good recovery there by Rob Calabrese. And the count is now even at 1.
You know, you're going back to managers being thrown out.
One and one the count. Gizzy from the right side of the rubber with a runner on first. And now Calabrese calls time. Let's see, Bill, let me try to throw another fact at you today. Let's see, Ralph Kiner, you remember him?
Yes, I do.
Well, today in 1947, Ralph Kiner had 3 successful home runs for the Pirates.
What year?
1947, 3 successive home runs.
He might have tied Johnny Mize for like 50-some-odd home runs for the year.
Oh, wow. In 47?
Yeah.
All right.
Was New York Met broadcaster.
Oh.
Yeah, he broadcast the Mets games and was a outfielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates for many years. Home run hitter.
Mm. So the count remains at 1 and 2. Gizzy throws over to first. It's not in time.
Yeah, him and Johnny Mize. Johnny Mize was playing first base for the New York Giants.
Oh.
And
1-2, swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout. Stretch time at Bossy Field. Otters down 3-0. But you say it best, Bill. The Otters score runs, and the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings will come back after this on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
7th inning stretch time. Get up and move wherever you are, unless you're driving the car.
Live music starts at 2 p.m. with Jonas Cowan, Beyond Blue, Bosco France, Muddy Gut, and headliner Sean Murphy. The event will also feature multiple food and drink vendors as well as an art contest. If you'd like more information on the event, you can contact the River Basin Blues Society at evansvilleblues.com or visit the River Basin Blues Society Facebook page.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 3-0, and unfortunately, the Otters skipper McCauley is not in the game anymore. Hopefully that'll spark the Otters offense as Jack Meggs steps to the plate. His first pitch from Jordan Barrett is in there for strike one.
And Boots Day, the Evansville Otter first manager, is now down in third base, being the third base coach.
That's right.
I don't know if he assumed the duties of the manager, but he is the third base.
Meggs slaps this one over the pitcher's mound. Throw over to first. One away.
Let me see. Who's down there coaching first base?
It'll be Phil Britton.
Oh, Britton. Okay.
Yes. So one away, Meggs is retired. To the plate now is Rob Calabrese. Rob has one of the 3 hits that the Otters have had today. Rob is 1 for 2. He had a single to center field back in the third. Righty-lefty matchup, Barrett has kept the Otters offense in check. Here's the first pitch to Calabrese. It's a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. On deck is Hunter Cullen. Brandon Sittinger's line. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. Calabrese takes a ball inside, moving the count to 2-0 with 1 out. Sittinger did a great job today, starting for the Otters.
I'll say so. I mean, to me, he couldn't have asked for anything better insofar as, okay, the first inning he had a little jitteries with walking 2 guys, found his zone, and after that, he, as far as I'm concerned, didn't throw too many balls or a lot of strikes, didn't walk anybody, only gave up, 4 hits? And, take that back outside of the home run. That first run that was scored shouldn't have happened. So, in essence, let's go back and say Sittinger gave up 1 run only.
Right.
So, 4 hits. How many strikeouts? I think about 7.
7.
Yeah, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks. I thought that was pretty good.
2-2 the count to Calabrese, the 5th pitch. That was close. Calabrese gets the call in favor of him to move the count to 3-2.
We look at Welsh, and we look at Nicely. We look at Beardsley, and I know I'll get that as a grandmother will be calling me. Anyway, they've all performed nicely. Nicely. Now, oh, boy.
Soft ground ball on a hop to Sakurai. Throw over to first. And he's in time for out number 2.
I thought he was going to beat that out when that shortstop did the double pump. Couldn't get it out of his glove the first time, and then did it. But anyway, no, those starting pitchers have all done great jobs of coming in and holding the teams to respectable 1 or 2 runs for 5, 6, 7 innings. You got to give them credit.
A quick look around the Frontier League scoreboard. The River City Rascals are defeating the Florence Freedom 8-5 right now. So the Otters, there is still plenty of time left to tie this game. They just need to string together some quality at-bats. The first pitch to Hunter Cullen is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1.
And there's Mr. Wesley Jones over there on third, playing up on the grass, knowing that Hunter's got good speed and could bunt.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Barrett, as we've noted earlier in the broadcast, it seems that he's been ahead of every Otters batter he's faced. rocks and deals. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a drive to right field, and another diving catch by the outfield of the Gateway Grizzlies, this time by Dustin Woodcock. That, unfortunately, ends the 7th inning.
That's 3 outstanding catches in the outfield, robbing Otter baseball hitters from getting a hit.
That's right. Well, we head to the 8th. Otters still down 3-0 on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank Sinorama Evansville for their support this season. Sinorama Evansville is a multi-application supplier of custom-made signs, banners, and decals in the tri-state. Located at 1300 North Royal Avenue in Evansville, Sinorama is open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. They can be reached by phone at 812-477-7763 and can be found online at sinorama.com/in-Evansville. Sinorama Evansville, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
The Tin Fish Restaurant is located at 707 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Independently owned and operated, the Tin Fish menu featured salads and sandwiches, as well as seafood platters and combos, and seafood burritos, tacos, and burgers. The Tin Fish Restaurant is open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. They can be reached by phone at 812-490-7000. Visit them online at tinfishnewburgh.com. The Tin Fish Restaurant, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
Since 1994, Slays Restoration has been assisting tri-state residents clean up and restore their properties after disasters of all kinds. Located at 2121 Cotter Avenue in Evansville, Slays Restoration offers assistance for water damage, fire and smoke damage, mold and biohazard mitigation, complete reconstruction, and much more. Slays Restoration can be reached toll-free 24 hours a day at 1-888-776-8555. It can also be found online at slaysrestoration.com.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call as Sean Dunston enters the batter's box. First pitch to Dunston Jr.'s in the dirt for ball 1, and we had Jordan, the official scorer, explain to you what was going on.
Yes, he said what it did, it hit the top of the Lucas sign out there. It bounced high in the air, and that's why Hunter was waiting for it to come down. So technically, yes, it was a home run, but it went up and then come back down. So it must have been on the part of the fence. It couldn't have hit the sign, because if it hit the sign, it would have been in the field. So it must have been the outer fence beyond the sign, bounced in the air, and then the Hunter waited for it to come down. So that was the reason.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, we have a great man out there in Gordon who is our official scorer, but he used to broadcast in 2016, the Otter Championship year. Gordon was one of the broadcasters on this program.
Here's the 2-2 to Dunston. Inside for ball 3. Gizzy out for his second inning of work.
So we've got S-H-A-W-O-N, Schronen, not S-H-A-W-N.
Got it. Here is the payoff pitch.
Base hit.
Blooping. Cronin fields it, throws over to first. He's safe. Cronin threw it across his body and tried to get it to Meggs in time. It'll be an infield single for Dunston, his first hit of the day.
Well, when you saw that ball just float over the pitcher's head, you know it made it a very, very hard play for Cronin or for Tanner to make. And with Dunston's speed, he had himself a base hit.
To the plate now is Andrew Daniel. He is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch.
And it looks like Mr. Dunston is getting ready to...
he's got some of the best wheels in the Frontier League.
Yeah.
Dunston this year has 31 stolen bases.
Oh, my goodness.
I think that's one of the best in the Frontier League, if not the best.
Well, I would say so. And just looking at there, he's got ants in his pants ready to move.
That was a good game.
Yeah. See him now leaning? See him leaning?
1-0, pop up towards the Otters dugout. Can Calabrese get there? He doesn't. The ball pops out of his glove for a foul ball and a strike one. I think that's a play Rob wants to have back to squeezing his mitt.
Yep.
Instead, it'll be a high strike one. Count now even at 1. No outs. Dunston at first. He is now 1 for 3, reaching on a single as well as a fielder's choice back in the first. 1-1 the count to Daniel. Gizzy from the right side of the rubber. He kicks and fires the 1-1, and that is a ball upstairs, moving the count to 2-1. Ground ball could be helpful for the Otters to turn 2.
Well, we wonder, you don't know and I don't know whether Dunston has the go-ahead sign to run on his own, because
2-1, swung on, shallow fly ball. Cronin is there in shallow right, makes the catch with his glove for out number 1.
You know, you watch third base coaches, Dave, and you're looking for signs, because that was one of the things I always try to do and others do. You steal the sign, and gives you the advantage, of course. And you look, and there's no sign at all, and all of a sudden the guy goes stealing. And then you find out, well, they can run on their own. And, you know, it's up to the player.
The first pitch to Wesley Jones is a ball upstairs. 1-0 the count. Jones today is 1 for 3. Hasn't had a lot of balls hit to him at third base, though.
No.
Here's the 1-0. Dunston goes. Throw down to second base is high and not in time.
Oh, my God.
Dunston had a good jump on that one. He has another successful stolen base. Make that 32 on the year.
You know, what was so ironic was he was sliding into second base, and the second baseman was waiting for the throw. I mean, but you're right. What a jump he got. He was running. He had 5-6 steps before the pitcher released the ball.
Here's now the 1-1 pitch with 1 out. Ground ball foul down the third base line. The count moves now to 1-2 to Jones.
But you don't see very often a guy slide into second base and be there before the ball even gets there. And that's not saying anything about Rob Calabrese's throw. He had plenty of time, good throw to second. It's just that he got a jump.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a late foul tip by Jones. Remains the count at 1-2. 1 out. Dunston on second base with a successful stolen bag. His 32nd of the year. 1-2 the count, 1 out. Gizzy fires. Line drive over the shortstop Wietrich's head. A rifle throw from left field in Keith Griesaber. That would be a single for Jones.
Yeah.
And the count is new as the Grizzlies have runners on the corners with 1 out.
You know, watching Dunston steal second base and do it so fluently, and again with his good speed, and you say he's got a pretty good arm out there. You wonder why he's not in affiliated baseball. Not because he's a good ball player, but because of his father. His father's name should have just carried him at least into A-ball. I mean, so many guys are playing professional baseball only because their father was an outstanding major leaguer.
The next pitch to Jones is in there for strike 1. 2,420 people on attendance. And, Bill, I think you owe me a soda.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, boy.
2,650.
Yeah. I guess we couldn't read the 2 and the 5. But, no, I'm wrong in that estimate, yes. But the other night, didn't I get 4,700 on the dot?
That's right, you did. 1-1 the count. one out. Runners on the corners for the Grizzlies. They're up 3-0. Next pitch is thrown in there for strike 2 from Gizzy. Count moves to 1-2. Open bag at second. Double play intact. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Throw. Whoa. It was a strikeout. And Calabrese does not throw down to second base. So now there's an only open bag at first. White strikes out. To the plate now is Zach Taylor. Taylor today is 0 for 3 with a strikeout that occurred back in the 7th. Runners on second and third for the Grizzlies. They're up 3-0.
And it looks like we got someone warming up down there in the bullpen. I can't get his number.
Both for not only the Grizzlies, but Abraham Almonte warming up for the Otters in their bullpen on the first base side.
Yeah.
Oh and 1 the count. 2 outs, 3-0 Grizzlies. And if I may refresh my page here, it is now 9-5 River City over Florence in the bottom of the 8th. Next pitch from Gizzy drops in there for strike 2. Windy City defeated Washington 5-3. Miners losing 7-0.
To who?
Joliet.
Oh.
0-2 the count to Taylor. Here's the next pitch. Check swing.
Same thing. Strike 3. Tag him.
And Calabrese will tag him.
You don't have to. After he makes that, he indicates once he's going back to the dugout, he concedes he's out.
So a big strikeout, and the Otters hopefully can string together some quality at-bats in the bottom of the 8th. They're down 3-0 on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
SRG Global, a Guardian company, would like to wish the Evansville Otters the best of luck in today's contest. Founded in 1932, SRG Global is one of the world's largest manufacturers of chrome-plated plastic parts for the automotive, commercial truck, and household appliance industry. Located locally at 601 North Congress Avenue in Evansville, SRG Global can be found online at srgglobal.com. They can also be reached in Evansville by phone at 812-477-6151.
Hey, it's Mixmaster Jones Capone. Be sure to check me out right here on 91.5 WUEV for Party Lights Uncut. Party Lights Uncut is the premier and longest running hip-hop and R&B show in the tri-state. Every Friday and Saturday night, midnight to 2, Party Lights Uncut plays the best in contemporary hip-hop and R&B from today's top artists. So be sure to tune in right here on 91.5 WUEV. Party Lights Uncut.
Injuries are inevitable. It doesn't matter if you're playing baseball, walking the dog, or falling from a ladder. Injuries happen. When they do, Tri-State Orthopedics offers treatment for sprains, strains, and fractures by medical specialists. Tri-State Orthopedics is located at 225 Cross Lake Drive in Evansville, just north of the Lloyd and I-164. Tri-State Orthopedics can be reached by phone at 812-477-1558. Its urgent care line is 812-474-OUCH. Tri-State Orthopedics, a proud supporter of Evansville Otters baseball.
I thought he was an Otter player.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. Dave Nguyen, Bill McCune on the call. Otters down by a score of 3-0 in the bottom of the 8th. Jordan Barrett's day is done, and I got to tell you, Barrett kept the Otters offense in check. He finishes with 7 innings pitched, allows 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. On the mound now is Jeff Bramblett for the Grizzlies. He has a .57 ERA, 1-3 record, 11 saves, 47.2 innings pitched. He's given up 9 runs. 3 of them have been earned. Strikeout to walk ratio of 54-14. And it looks like he's going to try to be in there for either a 2-inning save or being the setup man trying to get 3 outs. So this is a sharp ball right at the pitcher's mound. Wietrich will still be out on a sharp throw from Jones at third to first for out number 1.
I don't know where he got hit, in the ankle, in the shoe, or whatever. He's indicating he's okay, the pitcher. But that ricocheted so hard to the third baseman, Jones, who made a one-hand scoop and threw out Tanner. I mean, that was a heck of a play on Jones's part. You don't see. I thought automatically when I saw that ricochet, I said, oh, that's a base hit. I didn't realize Jones could make a play like that.
So 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. The Otters have scored 41 runs this season. In the 8th, they don't have any right now. First pitch to Cronin. Called strike. 0-1 the count. Dave today is 0 for 2 with a walk that occurred in the 3rd. He struck out in the 1st and flew out to third base in the 5th. That was in foul territory as Cronin now takes a ball in the dirt to even the count at 1.
Well, you said Jones didn't do much in the field. There wasn't too many ground balls hit to him, but when he did get one, he made an exceptional play.
That's right. This pitch is swung on, foul down the third base line. Count moves to 1-2. We have Boots Day at third base, as well as Phil Britton at first, the bench coaches for the Otters. Lefty-righty matchup with Cronin and Bramblett. Bramblett fires a 1-2, ground ball to the second baseman, Daniel. It throws over to first. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 8th.
Quick resume. Boots stay down there on third base. You said he's a former major league player. However, played here with the Triplets in AAA, American Association. Later managed the Otters their first year.
Right.
And now is a coach. So he's been a player, manager, and coach for the Otters during his tenure here in Otterville.
Good quality baseball guy as well. He's got just like yourself. He has a ton of stories about playing in the bigs.
Yeah, yeah.
First pitch to Griesaber is in the dirt for a ball 1. Count at 1-0. My favorite story that Boots has told is when it was about Bob Gibson. Like whenever Bob Gibson started, no one bothered him, or else, well, there may have been a physical altercation if you bothered Bob Gibson on his day of starting. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball down the heart of the plate, evening the count at 1 to Griesaber.
1984, Boots was working for the Detroit Tigers. I was working for the San Diego Padres. Both of us were covering the major leagues. We were advanced scouts for both of the respected teams, knowing we were going to be in the World Series.
The 1-1 is in the dirt for ball 2.
So a lot of places that Boots would be at, I would be at the same place. And we'd meet again at the airports.
Solid.
Yeah. I don't remember ever going on the same airplane with him, but I know we were in the same airport.
Was airport travel must have been easier back then?
Oh, yes, it was.
Because they didn't have all this TSA stuff.
Oh, no, I flew first class, and I tell you what, you could get on the plane anytime.
Here's the 2-1. Foul tip by Griesaber behind home plate. Evens the count at 2. Otters looking just to get a runner on base because they got Ryan Long on deck. And McNamee in the hole if we get there. Griesaber today is 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Infield back for the Grizzlies. The 2-2 from Bramblett will be fouled down the right field line. Abraham Almonte continues to warm up. As if when the Grizzlies do come up to bat in the 9th, they will lead off with the lefty Owings. And then the lefty Woodcock would be batter number 3 in the order.
Home run hitter who made an outstanding catch in the last inning.
That's right. The 2-2 to Griesaber. Outside for ball 3. Count full. Otters down 3-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. A great pitching performance by Brandon Sittinger, who only allowed 2 runs, and he had 2 runs on 4 hits, while also tossing 7 strikeouts. The payoff pitch to Grease Sabers, swung on, hit well to right field. Woodcock will be there to make the catch, and the Otters are retired in the 8th. We head to the top of the 9th, with the Otters down 3-0 here on 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
No matter how large or small your digging project may be, no matter how urban or rural, you must always call 811 before any digging project. 811 is our national one-call number, alerting your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site. So before you do this or this, make sure you do this. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Indiana 811.
It's time for the 5th annual Blues on the Rock, Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park. 6 blues bands live on stage 2 p.m. till midnight, featuring blues rocker Sean Murphy having her CD release party.
There's a place you can find where the sun.
Food, drinks, arts and crafts, and tent camping available. $10 admission. A blues set from Bosco, France.
Evil woman, why you play me for a fool?
Blues on the Rock. Tri-State favorite Jonas Cowan. Beyond Blue, Muddy Gut, and more. Blues on the Rock, Sunday, September 1st at Rockport City Park.
The Evansville Otters play here on 91.5 FM WUEV.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters Baseball. Dayton Wynn, Bill McCune on the call. Michael Gizzy's couple innings of relief is over. Actually, just 2 innings of relief. Gizzy went 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 1 earned run on the solo home run by Owings, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. On the mound now is Abraham Almonte from Philadelphia University. The Otters lefty. He threw a bullpen earlier today and felt great. The last time we saw Almonte, he was on the mound for the top of the 9th in Game 1 against the Rascals.
Rascals, yeah.
And that is when Trevor Achenbach hit the 3-run home run.
Yeah, 3-run. 5-5 ball game, 3-run home run. We lose 8-6. That's when Ryan Long comes in that 9th inning and drove in that win with the double. So we were a little short, 8-6. But anyway, you were talking about Sittinger's doing a great job out there tonight. And he may be the loser, but the point is, let's go back to Welsh. Jake the other night pitches beautiful 8 innings and yet does not get the win. And it's happened so many times for the Otters where the starting pitcher, pitches beautifully, but yet is not entitled to the win.
0-1, a called strike 2 on the outside corner from Almonte to Owings, who is 1 for 3 with the solo home run in the 7th, as well as 2 strikeouts. And back in the first, he walked with a run scored. The 0-2 pitch from Abraham Almonte. Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yes, he did, says the base umpire and Dennis Fretch for out number 1 here in the top of the 9th.
And that batter had a few comments to the umpire and as he walked by, probably saying, "Good call, Mr. Umpire." And they always say that.
Right. To the plate now is Brent Zachary. He's 1 for 4 with a single. He's also played a really good shortstop tonight for the Grizzlies. The single by Zachary occurred back in the first. The bunt single, if you can recall.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
First pitch, swing and a fly ball to center field. Going back is Cullen. He makes the catch for out number 2.
I was just thinking that if they were playing in Gateway, they'd have a few more home runs than we would, too, if this game was in Gateway.
Oh, yeah, because the short portion right.
Yeah.
The center field, I think, is about 400 feet, but then left field is about 299.
But you had that high wall.
That's
in
right.
Left field. Short porch hill in right field.
Right.
What, about 250, 260 or something?
275.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. 0-0 the count to Woodcock, who has a solo home run tonight. His first pitch from Almonte is in there for strike 1.
I played down there in Kingsport, Tennessee, and it was a field that left field was about, 350. Center field must have been 500 feet. And right field was...
the 0-1 popped up shallow territory in the right field, and Meggs is there. We head to the bottom of the 9th. Bill, do we have a comeback brewing for the Otters?
Well, it all depends who we got coming up now.
We'll find out after this.
Yeah, please.
On 91.5 WUEV and the Otters Digital Network.
Why Old National Bank? Old National Bank began in 1834 with just one room and a passion for helping people prosper. Today, we are honored and grateful to be the financial partner for so many businesses, families, and individuals like you. From our commitment to safety and security to our promise of service that will exceed your expectations, we want to be your bank for life. Old National Bank, member FDIC.
The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's. I'm in the mood for pizza and I'm ready to go. The Pizza Brick Road goes to Tyroni's. So follow me down the Pizza Brick Road. Road down to Tyroni's. The Pizza Brick Road. The Pizza Brick Road always goes to Tyroni's.
The Evansville Otters would like to thank the Evansville Courier and Press for their support and coverage of Otters baseball. The Evansville Courier and Press provides news, sports, and weather coverage to the Tri-State, both in a print and online edition. The Evansville Courier and Press can be found online at courierandpress.com, as well as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest. The Evansville Courier and Press, a member of the Journal Media Group.
Welcome back to Evansville Otters baseball. We're in the bottom of the 9th. Dave Gwynn, Bill McCune on the call. Otters down 3-0. So Grant Black pitched a scoreless 8th as the setup man, and now Jeff Bramblett comes in, the closer. 11 saves on the year, .57 ERA, a strikeout to walk ratio of 54-14. Ryan Long to the plate, followed by Elijah McNamee and Taylor Lane, the meat of the Otters order. Batters 3, 4, and 5. Now, we know Ryan can swing for the fences, but if you're the Otters right here, just put the ball in play and try to knock it into the outfield for a base hit. String together those quality at-bats to put more pressure on the Grizzlies.
You need runners, men on the bases. A home run's not going to help you 3-1 if that's the case, but you need some men on the bases. And you say, like you say, you need quality at-bats.
That's right.
So, although you say 50-some strikeouts to 14 walks, so chances are he'll be throwing strikes. And I always say, look, take a strike in this inning situation. But if you've got a guy that throws strikes, well, maybe then swing at the first pitch.
First pitch to Ryan Long is in there for strike 1. Ryan is over 3 today. The Otters have scored 17 runs in the 9th inning this season. Could it be 20 or 21? The 0-1 pitch to Long drops in there, and a curveball in there for strike 2.
I noticed when he was warming up, he had exhibited a curveball and a slider, and both were pretty sharp. Had good bites to them. And you just saw the curveball.
0-2 the count. The next pitch from Bramblett. Swung on, foul down the third base line. Count moves to 0-2. So as a closer, you really don't have many pitches. You may have 3 at most, but on average, probably 2.
That's all you need. It's 2. A fastball, whether a sharp slider or a good curveball. Oh, throw in a good change if you got one. But good curve, good slider, good fastball. That's it.
The 0-2 pitch.
There's the curveball.
It's outside for ball 1. So if you're the Otters batters, you should be sitting fastball.
Well, he just showed you 2 good curveballs out of the 3 pitches he just threw. Well, actually, he threw 4, but he fouled one off.
1-2, swung on to left field. White will move up and make the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, Ryan has been going to left field, left center quite a bit in the last week or so, which we said he did quite often last year.
To the plate now is Elijah McNamee, who's 1 for 3. He had a single that occurred in the 6th. 24 games now. McNamee has 25 hits, but he wants to get on base for this Otters club to extend this inning and make it more interesting.
Yeah.
Otters down 3-0 in the bottom of the 9th. 1 out. First pitch to McNamee. Ball inside. Count at 1-0.
Third baseman is playing
back
a little. Got a pretty good arm, though.
The 1-0 pitch. Upstairs for ball 2 on the fastball from Bramblett. 2-0 the count. 1 out to McNamee. On deck is Taylor Lane. In the hole, Jack Meggs. 2-0.
3-0.
And that would be inside, yep. Shame there wasn't a runner on base. So whoever was on base, if Ryan Long was able to get on, he would have stole second. Well, not stole second, but take off for second on the wild pitch. 3-0 the count, 1 out.
Now we got a 3-0 count. Let's see what happens.
A fastball down the heart of the plate for strike 1.
There's Rex Robinson down there explaining something. Maybe he's pointing to left field. One of our fans every day.
3-1. Swung on, foul down the right field line into the stands. Count now full to Big Mac. Otter faithful hoping that Big Mac can attack.
Well, he's thrown several curveballs. I wouldn't be surprised if Mac don't get a curveball on this particular pitch.
Here's the payoff pitch. It'll be fouled off the roof of Bossy Field. Heads up.
And he tried to overpower him on the fastball.
Count now full.
I haven't seen that slider yet. Curveballs, yes, but I haven't seen the slider, and I thought the slider was was pretty exciting when he was warming up.
That's what made Brad Lidge so effective as a closer. The payoff pitch. Ball 4.
Yeah. Well, that's the beginning. That's what you need. That's 1 run.
One base runner.
We need 3 more batters to get on base.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Taylor Lane has a chance to do that. He's 0 for 3 right now. But in the bottom of the 9th last night, he had a single.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Righty matchup. McNamee, if given an opportunity, will advance to second base, but it needs to be the right time. He has decent speed. Playing at double play depth will be the Gateway Grizzlies infield. First pitch to Lane in the dirt for ball 1.
Well, first batter, Ryan, he throws 2 curveballs. 2 out of 3 were curveballs, and now he's nothing but fastballs.
1-0 in the dirt for ball 2.
So how many pitches has he thrown? About 12, 11, 12?
14.
14, and there were 3 curveballs, and the rest have been fastballs.
And even as far as strikes and balls thrown. Phil Warren, the Grizzlies manager, out on the mound to talk to his closer. Let's see, what other fact can I throw at you? Oh, Sandy Koufax.
Yes.
Today in 1964, Sandy Koufax hurts his elbow sliding into second base in a 3-0 win against St. Louis. He will miss the rest of the season.
Do you know Sandy Koufax never pitched on a Sunday?
Really?
Never.
I didn't know that.
He was Jewish, and that
That's
was
right.
against his religion.
What if I told you I couldn't broadcast on Sunday?
Well,
Just
you're not
kidding.
Sandy Koufax.
That's right. Just kidding.
You don't have that curveball that drops off the table.
I don't. I don't have any that drops off the table. 2-1 now, the count to Taylor Lane.
Don Drysdale and Sandy Koufax, 2 of the greatest 1-2 punches that was in baseball.
The 2-1 pitch. Swung on. They'll be go past Luke Lowry at first. Heading to third is Elijah McNamee. Boots tells him to put on the brakes. And we'll wait for the official ruling. It'll be ruled a single. Otters have runners at first and third with 1 out.
Well, now you got the tying run come into the plate. As you said, Fat Lady didn't get on the bus yet.
So, Meggs now represents the tying run at the plate. Jack has put some good contact on the baseball today. He is 0 for 3. He struck out swinging in the 2nd and 4th. He had a hard-hit ground ball to the shortstop in the 7th. Big spot right here. Otters down 3-0. Meggs represents the tying run. The first pitch outside for ball 1.
Well, if he was to get on, Calabrese has got the power to hit one out of this ballpark.
He does.
So 1 out. We've got a good opportunity.
The 1-0. Ooh, a breaking ball drops in there for strike 1.
That's the first curve he's thrown in a long while.
Meggs didn't want to swing at that one.
Well, I didn't think it was a good curve as far as being a strike. It was had good bite to it, but I didn't think it was a strike.
1-1 the count to Meggs. With an open stance on the left side of the box, he closes it. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a late foul tip by Meggs moves the count to 1-2.
Everything depends on what he throws. In my opinion, what he throws here in this situation is going to determine what you're going to see if he gets in a jam.
One and 2 the count. Runners on first and third for the Otters. 1 out. Meggs the tying run. The pitch.
That's it.
Ooh, he swung on and missed it. That one badly loses his bat again.
Didn't that happen the last time he was at bat when he struck out?
Yes.
The bat flew out to the mound on the strikeout. And here he did something similar. And I was going to say what you are going to see in that situation, which I thought he would throw, was the fastball. So he's got more confidence in his fastball.
Wait a minute.
What?
That was called a foul tip.
Yeah. Yeah. What did you have, a strikeout? Oh, no. He reached it. If you remember, the ball ricocheted over here to your third base. The bat went out to first base, in between first and third, but the ball went over to the to the third base.
My apologies.
That's okay. You can't watch the bat and the ball at the same time.
Meggs has new life. The 1-2 ground ball to the shortstop Sakurai to second for 1 to first. A 6-4-3 double play, and the Otters lose game 1 of this 3-game set against the Gateway Grizzlies. The Otters shut out today, And if we go to the Frontier League scoreboard, today was a good opportunity for the Otters to get in the win column because right now the River City Rascals are defeating the Florence Freedom 11-7 in the bottom of the ninth, and the Southern Illinois Miners are losing to the Joliet Slammers 9-0 in the fifth in Joliet. The finals right now, the Otters have no runs on 4 hits, no errors. The Grizzlies have 3 runs on 7 hits and an error. The Otters, the biggest opportunity for them to score was when they had the bases loaded with 1 out in the third, and unfortunately, they were not able to come up with putting a run across the board, and that was the best opportunity for the Otters to score at the time. Got to tip our hat to Jordan Barrett, the starter for Gateway. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk. Grant Black's pitched a scoreless inning, and Bramblett earns the save. Bill, what can you take away from this game? Because the Otters did have their chances to put runs across the board.
Well, I'm going to repeat myself, which I've been doing for the last 2 weeks, and say you got outstanding pitching from the starter pitcher from the Evansville Otters. Unfortunately, the bats did not help them. Again, only 4 hits, and the last one was questionable insofar as making it the 4th hit. But you can't score runs until you put runners on base, and when you do have runners on base, you got to get that quality hit to drive them in. So I think the Otters have scored 10 runs in the last something like 35, 36 innings. So that is not a good percentage.
Well, the Otters will come back tomorrow. It is Breast Cancer Awareness Night tomorrow night, and the Otters will be wearing pink jerseys in honor of the evening.
Yeah, they generally sell them after the game, I think.
Yep, there will be an auction.
Yeah, auction,
So come on out tomorrow night. There will be fireworks afterwards. So hopefully another great night of baseball. On the mound tomorrow will be the newly acquired Otter from Joliet in Matt Quintana.
That's the guy you said that struck out 100 and some odd batters. And
110.
Yeah.
Yep. For Mr. Paul Mattingly back in the studio and my partner, Bill McCune, I'm Dave Nguyen, and everyone have a great night. And remember, go Otters.